morning students. Today we are going to see chapter 1 function. What does mean by function? Function is nothing but a task. It combines many instructions into a single lines of code. Here most programming languages provide many built-in functions like printf, scanf that otherwise required many steps to accomplish. A function is a block of statements that performs a specific task. Here the learning objectives are: we will understand what is function, what is function specification, what is meant by subroutine, what is the difference between the word, parameter and arguments. A function, it contains instruction it used to create output from its input. So already we know what is meant by input and what is meant by output. Input which were given by the user, output which were given by the device or machine. For example, it's like a cow that eats grass, that is the input, which its body turned into milk, which a dairy farmer then here the milk is the output. And another example is for driving a car. When driving a car, here location is the function of time. And also we are going to take another example, ATM machine. So here ATM is a simple data terminal. Here it will connect with 2 input and 4 output devices. ATM is a machine it connected with bank or financial institution that allows customers to perform various transactions. So here ATM has to connect to and communicate to host processor, and also here the least line machine it connected directly to the host process or through a 4-wire point-to-point connection. In the introduction part, we are going to see we can control the flow of a program by calling the function. By completing the task, here it is the most important thing is to writing an algorithm, that is nothing step-by-step instructions to complete your particular task. Here we are going to take function of cooking as example. We have to wait few minutes to eat delicious food. Here the main functions are: first we are going to collect the ingredients. Next it provides some process like roasting or frying, etc. And also it provides a constant temperature, that is it does not go above 100 degrees. And also it has to steam, it has to stick on. If you want to fry it goes to some dry land. And also if it is the boiling, it softens rice or pasta, etc. So here we are going to collect the ingredients and collection of some process. And also we have to wait few minutes, and here till the conditions are satisfied, we are getting a delicious meal. So like this, function is nothing but set of instructions to complete your particular task. Subroutine. A subroutine, also referred to as a function, a procedure, and a subprogram. Here is the code that may be called and executed anywhere in a program. For example, the user to save a file and it view many times whenever the user wants. And another example is for switch on the fan, it circulate air in the room until switch off. So here the same process is repeated again and again. So subroutine is nothing but a small section of code that is used to perform a particular task that can be used repeatedly. So it can be repeat the same process again and again. Function. It has a set of code that is often defined with a created code structure. So function is a block of organized reusable code that is used to perform a single related action. Here it provides a better modularity for your application and high degree of code reusing. Already we use some functions that is inbuilt with some programming languages like printf or scanf, etc. Function specification. Here the example is a colon equal to within the parenthesis of 24. Here this whole statement considered as an expression. Here a is the variable name, 24 is the value. Value 24, it's being to bound the value that is the name of a. So a க்கு 24. A is variable name, 24 is value. Okay. Here, these definitions are not expressions. At the same time, expressions are not treated as definitions. Here, these definitions are distinct synthetic blocks. That is nothing but it consists of expressions nested inside them. Set of statements or set of expressions or parameter. Here parameter or the variable in a function definition. Parameters are the variable. Underline the word variable. Arguments are the values which are passed to a function definition. Arguments are the values. Let us see the example. Function shopping, that is the function name is shopping. Buy groceries, buy clothes. Here this groceries, clothes are the parameters, that is the variables in a function definition. So we are going to applying the value for this variable. Let us see shopping, true or false. So here the values, that is true or false is the values, that is the arguments. So parameters are the variables in a function definition. Arguments are the values which are passed to a function definition. So here there are the two types. First one is parameter with the type. Second one is parameter without type. Here parameter with the type or without type is nothing. Here the data type of the parameter that you are declaring. parameter without type. Here parameter without type is nothing but the user didn't declare any type of the parameter. அதாவது யூசர் எனக்கு இந்த மாதிரி parameter data type தான் வேணும், லைக் எனக்கு இன்டிஜரில் தான் வேணும், ஃப்ளோட்டில் தான் வேணும், booleanல தான் வேணும் அப்படின்னு எந்த டேட்டா டைப்பையும் கொடுத்துருக்கிறது தான் என்னது parameter without data type. Let us see this example. Requires b greater than or equal to 0. Here requires is nothing but precondition, தேவையானது. Returns, that is a to the power of b. So returns is requires b greater than equal to 0. So here it requires, it refers to precondition, that means தேவையானது. That is the input. Returns a to the power of b. So here it returns means post condition. So post condition means it returns as output. Let rec power, that is recursive power, a b colon equal to. Here a b, that is a b is the parameter. Here a and b does not declare any type of parameter, whether it is an int or float etc. ஏவும் பிக்கு பக்கத்தில் எந்த பேராமீட்டரும் கொடுக்கல, அதனால அவுட்புட்டில் இந்த டைப்பில் தான் எனக்கு டேட்டா டைப் வரணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி எதுவுமே சொல்லலை. இஃப் b equal to 0 then 1, that is here the condition. So if expression it can return 1 in the branch by the typing rule. Here the entire if expression has type int. Since if the expression has int, the function's return type also be int b. So here b is compared to 0 with an equal to, that is equality operator. So else a asterisk power of a b minus 1 is nothing but here a is multiplied with some another expression by using this asterisk operation. So a must be an int. So நீ b into ஒரு இன்ட்டோட ஒரு இன்ட்டை மல்டிப்ளை பண்ணுறது அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கான சிம்பிள் எக்ஸாம்பிள். ஸோ பாரு parameter with the type. Here the same function. Now we are going to describe some parameter types. Let us see the example. Requires p greater than 0, returns a to the power of b. Already we learnt what is requires, what is return. That is nothing but requires means precondition, returns means post condition. Let recursive power of a int b int. So here int is nothing but the data type. So here the user that we are going to enter the value must be an integer type. If b equal to 0 then 1, else a asterisk power of b a minus 1. So here a and b are the parentheses or mandatory. So here just we are going to leave out some annotations because it's simpler to compiler. So there are times that we want to explicit like a is int, b is int. So generally so we are going to leave this type of annotations because it's simpler to let the compiler in front of them. So here this is very useful to this type because when you get a type error from the compiler, that does not make sense. By given this type of parameter with the data type, it can help with debugging such an error message. if you call a function, it executes a return a value and then returns the program where it was called. In programming, a named sections of a program that performs a specific task is called a function. Here the syntax to define function is let rec fn a1 a2 to a1 colon equal to k. Here f1 is a variable that is indicating as an identifier being used as a function name. So here f1 is nothing but a function name. a1 to an are variables, that is parameters. Next one is recursion is a function name, that is a recursive function. So here first introduced by the keyword let and also then followed by the name of the function and its arguments. So here this formula that computes the image of the argument is written in sign. So if you want to define a recursive function, here use the keyword let rec. Let us see an example to check whether the entered number is even or odd. So what is mean by even? A number which is divisible to is even. A number which is not divisible by 2 is odd. So here the program is requires x greater than or equal to 0. Let rec even x equal to 0, odd of x minus 1, return even. And next one is requires x greater than or equal to 0. Let odd x is 0 and even of x minus 1, it returns odd. Here x and y are variables. X to y is the type of a function, that is we are going to get an input of type x and it returns an output of type y. Whereas x1, x2, y is a type of function. It takes two input. First input is x1 and another input is x2. So in this function, it requires the input is x is greater than or equal to 0. So suppose if it is a even function, it is divisible by 2. So x is equal to 0. If it is 0, it returns an even number. And next one is requires x is greater than or equal to 0. Let odd function. So here this function, it explains the statement x is 0 and even of x minus 1. That is the function otherwise that is which does not divisible by 2. That is not even number, which is an odd number. So it returns an odd. The syntax for function types is x is to y, x1 is to x2 to y, x1 is to xn up to y. Here x and y are variables, that is indicating types. X to y is a type of function that get an input is x and it returns an output is y. Here this type of a function that it takes two inputs. First one is x1 and second one is x2. It returns as output is y. Here it has a n number of arguments and it get a y as output. Students, in this session we learned what is mean by function. It is nothing but a specific task, and another one is subroutine. So subroutine is a small section of code that is used to perform a particular task repeatedly. And another one is parameter. Parameters are the variables in a function definition and arguments are the values which are passed to a function definition. In this parameter, we learned two types. First one is parameter without type and second one is parameter with the type. Here the user declaring the type of the parameter. Here the user is declaring the type of the parameter. So that is parameter with the type. If the parameter type is not given, that is the parameter without type. I hope you all